Hello, whoa, God, I'm never gonna get that right. Never gonna get that right. Hello there, Oh, shoot, I'm wearing my jacket. Hang on. Sorry, it was cold earlier. Hang on. Let's get this off here. Pause for recognition of reference, and off. All right. Anyway, hello there, CriterioNate here, number 348, number 6, the final installment in the Eric Rohmer Six Moral Tales saga, if you will. Took him, what, almost 9 years to finish this whole set? 10 years? How much has it been? Well, no, it's 9 years. Eric Rohmer's Love in the Afternoon, or L'amour, oh, God, I'm not even going to try afternoon. Anyway, 1972, 98 minutes, color, monaural, French, and all that good stuff. So we are at the end, and I have to say this sealed the deal. I'm going to pick this up. The fact of the matter is I am getting the Six Moral Tales. It is happening. Even with my not so fondness of Claire's Knee, this one, it sold the deal. It didn't take the cake. This wasn't my favorite. I think if we're ranking these, and I should have thought this before, but you know, let me go. I'll come back to that question in a bit. Yes, Love in the Afternoon, fantastic. Story. Let's see. We got Frederick, who is this business guy, and he's married to his wife Helene. He's got a little baby, a little 2-year-old, 3-year-old son, and he got another one on the way. And so he works, and while he's to and from work, he fantasizes about all the women that he could have had. I guess he has this like thing where he imagines, you know, apparently it started when he got married. You know, like when you get married, suddenly your interest in other women, you know, you fantasize about other women more than you do when you're single, and you know, it's just harmless flirtation. You know, he has no interest in pursuing anyone like his secretary or anything like that, who he sometimes flirts with too. And yeah, so we set him up as this guy who kind of fantasizes about women but doesn't do anything about it, even though he does love his wife and his kids and all that. And at one point, it's split up into 3 parts. There's a prelude, part 1 and part 2. Prelude just sets up Frederick's character as a kind of a fantasizer, and at the end of the prelude, he has this dream. There's this sequence where he dreams that he has this medallion or this like amulet or something that gives him the power of like irresistibility. And so like when women, if he asked women to, you know, on a date, they'd say yes, you know. But the trick and what makes this sequence neat, and what makes it, you know, at the end of the Six Moral Tales, what makes this sequence fantastic in my eyes, and what's really just like had me going, okay, I like what he did there, is the fact that the women he flirts with are the actresses from the last four Moral Tales. What are their names? I don't remember their names, so I have to look. Hang on. We have all the main lead actresses. We have Françoise Fabienne, who played Maud from My Night at Maud, and we have Marie-Christine Barlow who played François from My Night at Maud, Heidi Politov from Collectionneuse, and Aurora Cornu, who played Aurora, Laurence de Monahan from who played Claire, and Beatrice Roman, who played what was her name? Laura, all from Claire's Knee. And that was really cool to see them, you know, all together again. I mean, they were all shot separately, so this character Frederick flirts with all of them. They're not the same character, but they're just actresses. You know, the actresses are playing unnamed women. You know. And that was actually a really neat touch. And it reminded me a lot of what Truffaut did with the Antoine Daniel series at the end of the series, how Love on the Run showcases scenes from the other movies. And I don't know if Truffaut, you know, was nodding to Rohmer. I mean, he might have, and I might have seen that in the supplements, but I don't remember, if he mentioned Rohmer. But it's a really, really neat aspect of the movie, and yeah, I like the finality of it all. Rohmer bringing back the actresses from the other movies, so that was cool. So anyway, part 1 starts off with Chloe. Chloe is this girlfriend that Frederick used to date, and they haven't seen each other for a while, so they get together and go out and talk, and Chloe's in town, like, I guess trying to get rid of a boyfriend or get a boyfriend, and she's trying to dump him or something, and so she asks Frederick's help with trying to find an apartment, and they find an apartment for her. And while all this is happening, Chloe, starts to have feelings, and they start to, get a little more intimate and more intimate, and it almost looks as if, Frederick's going to give in to temptation and, get with Chloe. And at one point, Chloe confesses her love for him. The more, all the time they spend together. They spend almost every afternoon together. And I think his wife, Helene, doesn't really suspect, because they meet, because Helene and Chloe meet, and they know she knows it's harmless, and up until a certain point toward the end, it's more or less harmless. I mean, however, at one point she gets a job working at Chloe gets a job working at this shop. And part 1 basically is like the first part up until part 1 ends with the birth of his second son, I think. Yeah. I think he has 2 boys, yeah. So part 2 shows after the baby, they're home, the family's together, they're all home, and he's still seeing Chloe though. And at one point, Chloe starts working in a clothing shop or a dress shop, and she invites Frederick down to the basement where she tries on these different clothes. And at one point, he gets to look at her with just her, like a little thin lingerie on, and it's almost see-through. You can basically see everything. And there's this temptation, but he keeps resisting, keeps mentioning his wife, and she gets upset by it. She actually gets really tired of him constantly mentioning his wife when he comes so close to breaking his fidelity and all that, And she ends up confessing her love for him and all that. And I'm trying to remember what happened next. See, that's the great thing, is when you don't remember exactly what happened, all you have to do is refer to the book. And again, I definitely want to get it for that. I love this book. I love that they included the original moral tales in here. Let's see. So and then they here's the job. So here's where they're in the store, and then this, that, and then so he visits her up, and he tells her, oh yeah, look, I'm in love with my wife and all that, and so the big moment is he comes up carrying a plant, which it's not described in the book, but he's carrying a plant for some reason, and Chloe's in the shower, and he helps her dry off, and while he's holding her, he starts to kiss her. And then she runs off, and then she drops her towel and runs to the bed, lying naked, giving him a come hither kind of look with a come hither smile. And he starts to take off his shirt, and he lifts it over his head. And as he's lifting it over his head, he suddenly has a realization, and he stops, and he straightens himself, grabs his coat, and just runs down the stairs. And this really neat shot of him running down, downward, like the circular stairs. Reminds me of a opposite of the shot of the body from Andre Vida's A Generation falling from the top of the spiral staircase. And it's not described in the book, but there's a scene where Frederick puts his shirt halfway over his head and makes faces at his son to try and make him laugh. And I'm assuming that's the moment where he catches himself in the mirror as he's doing it, and it reminds him of how he used to do it with his son, and so it gets him sending him back to his sons and Helene, and so that's the last scene we see of Chloe. The last scene is basically just them together, Frederick and Helene together, and Helene starts crying, and he just confesses, he tells her that, he loves her, and I think she starts crying because I think what it's supposed to be that, my interpretation of it at least, is that Helene started to believe that Frederick was falling for Chloe, and yeah, just the crying. She says it's laughter, but she does start crying, sobbing uncontrollably, and they start kissing, and they eventually just go to bed together, and that's how the movie ends, and that's how the morals end. So obviously that is just basically, see, that one I think might be one of the strongest of the moral stories, in that it makes sense. It's like, hey, how far can you take friendship? How much friendship is too much friendship? What's the difference between love and friendship? Can two lovers who once were still be friends? And without feelings and all that. So again, I really like this one. I thought it was fantastic. I thought Chloe was. I wasn't sure about Chloe. She has a very weird look to her, played by the model Zuzu. I was like, Zuzu, okay. Apparently, Zuzu, the actress, had issue with heroin and drugs, and I don't know if she was on drugs at the time of making this movie, but apparently she had been addicted since the early 70s. So she might have been using during this movie, but I don't know, and I don't think there's anything in here. I should have looked at the book to find out. Yeah, I don't see anything in here, so there may not be anything. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't see anything there. So anyway, again, maybe I'll do some research on that. But anyway, yeah, so that's all I got to say. And that basically concludes the 6 moral tales. But Love Afternoon, I give it an A. Fantastic stuff. The moral stories in general, I give them, the stories in general, I think if I were to average out give a grade to the box set in general, I would give it an A-. Overall, they're fantastic stories. Some are better than others, obviously. But the most important thing is they do make you think. They make you think about things. I mean, most of them, they're all about men, choosing between women. So that's kind of a very narrow topic. But choices. We all make choices. And I'm sure you could probably easily make it. Make it for, if you switch the genders up, I'm sure you could easily make the stories. I can't tell you of any particular stories. I mean, the only one I can think of is that where it's one woman choosing between different men. It's like a Bridget Jones, the Bridget Jones series. And even then, I don't know much about that, but I know that she has a few different people in that. So yeah. Yeah, so anyway, so I would give it an A- overall to the overall thing, and that's mostly because of Claire's knee. Again, that was probably the weakest. If I were rating these, let me pull back up my my grades list. If I were ranking these, I'd say I'd probably give, Claire's knee was the weakest, and then probably, what did I say? What did I say was after that? Then after that was My Night at Maud's, and then The Bakery Girl of Monceau, and then Suzanne's Career, and then Love in the Afternoon or La Collectionneuse. Probably Love in the Afternoon and then La Collectionneuse. I think La Collectionneuse was just there's something about that the way the triangle works. Just there's something about, I don't know, maybe it's just the two guys fighting over one girl, just rather than one guy fighting over two girls, or choosing between two girls. There's something I really liked about that story, just in particular versus the others. So, yeah, I mean, but again, it's a toss-up. I think maybe I don't know. Yeah, probably La Collection News would be probably my favorite. Although that may change. I mean, I'm probably going to watch them again and think, whoa, Love in the Afternoon is actually way better, or who knows? Maybe I'll watch Claire's Knee again, and maybe that'll make that the best one, even though. But yeah, again, Claire's Knee was just not my favorite, But everybody's got a different favorite, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who think The Bakery Girl is their favorite, or Suzanne Scaria is their favorite. So they're, agree to disagree. So anyway. And yeah, that's it. So, supplements. We can talk about supplements. Love in the Afternoon supplements. There's a short film by Rohmer called Veronique and Her Dunce, done in '58. It's about this boy who's this tutor tries to teach him math, and he is a little too smart for his britches and starts to question everything else, and yeah. So it's kind of a weird story. It's kind of a comedy. And yeah, and then there's a video afterward with director and writer Neil Labute. We've seen before. He was describing another movie, and he just kind of sums up his feelings on the whole series. And there's a trailer, which just shows a bunch of scenes out of sequence, And yeah, so that's it. So that's the Moral Tales. I hope you guys enjoyed my reviews of them. I was surprised. I really enjoyed these. I really enjoyed the 6 Moral Tales. All in all, I thought this was a fantastic set. I'd love to see some more Rohmer. I know he did a number of other series of movies, like one on Proverbs and all that. I mean, I know he did some on and off, non-sequential movies or anything like that. But yeah, I like series, So yeah, this is a great one. So definitely gonna get this one. So 6 Moral Tales, A-, Love in the Afternoon, A. Get it. Check this out at least once. I don't know if they're on. I think they're on Filmstruck, so check them out. So that's it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, hope you guys enjoyed my reviews. Feel free to comment on your feelings on the 6 Moral Tales, if how you guys feel about them. Love to know what you guys think. Are they some of the greatest films Criterion ever put out, or are they completely overrated? What do you think? So anyway, next week we got a couple. We got most of next week all planned out. First of all, we got. I'll show you what I got right now. I got Kicking and Screaming. I got Kicking and Screaming here. I got, as I mentioned before here. Hang on. I got Spirit of the Beehive, and I think yesterday I got Solo con tu pareja. So we got those 3. Seduced and Abandoned, I was not able to get from the library. So just like Equinox, when the library fails, Filmstruck saves. It's on Filmstruck. So again, I'm gonna have to watch that one on Filmstruck and just do a review of the movie. Now that being said, because I don't know if I'm really gonna keep my I don't know if I'm actually gonna keep my subscription to Filmstruck, because I honestly don't think I'll want it, further than a few other movies. What I need to do is look up reviews that are movies that are out of print and think, okay, should I because I haven't used it for any other. I honestly have not used it since Equinox. So I just recently rewatched Touche Pas Grisby, but that one is not on. That one's not on Filmstruck. So, but there are some out of print Criterion movies that are on Filmstruck. So again, I'm not sure, and I think a lot of it's the StudioCanal. That's the reason why a lot of movies are out of print for Criterions, because of the StudioCanal. I think they lost, they took back all their rights. Movies that I like Ran, and again, Touche Pas Grisby. yeah, so that's, I think, the reason. So F you, StudioCanal, for taking away Criterion. Anyway, so because of that, because I started it, you know, they give you a 14-day week trial. Because I'm not necessarily interested in possibly paying, because I'm already paying for other subscriptions, and I don't know if I can afford it right now, I may cancel it soon. And so because of that, because I'm afraid that I'll get charged if I let it lapse till Monday, which is when we're supposed to do, which is when I was planning on doing Seduced and Abandoned. I may do that one before Kicking and Screaming. I may do that on Sunday and then cancel my subscription and all that. And then, so yeah, so that's the plan right now. So Sunday we'll do Kicking and Screaming. No, Sunday we'll do Seduced and Abandoned. Monday we'll do Kicking and Screaming. Tuesday we'll do Spirit of the Beehive. Then Wednesday we should do Jigoku, which I'm still waiting on, which is why I don't have it. And then next Thursday we'll do Solo Contemporeja. And yeah, so, and then I've already put a hold on the next 5 that we have to do. Clean Shaven, Hands Over the City, Sweetie, The Fallen Idol, and Pandora's Box, of which Pandora's Box actually is already on its way, funny enough. I guess whoever's working at Long Beach, whoever's toiling away at Long Beach has already processed it for me. So I'm like, hey. And I'm glad that, you know, Fallen Idol and Pandora's Box, which are out of print, are I'm able to get those from the universities and all that. So thank you guys. And yeah, so that's it. And we are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we are officially halfway through the season. That's really neat. You know, it's only December. You know, and yeah, so that's all I got right now. Yeah, and then we may have another. I may do another one. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what's after that. Because I'm thinking that week. Because that week I'm off Christmas Eve. The week of Clean Shaven, Hands Over the City. I may request one more and may do the double life of Veronique on Christmas Eve. Though I probably won't, because I'll probably be spending time with my family. Definitely not going to do a review on Christmas, so that'll be out. But I'll probably be back this December 26th. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's in the future. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Moral Tales. Let's see. We'll start off with Love in the Afternoon. Yeah, don't flirt with, don't fantasize about other women. I don't know. See, that one's hard because, there wasn't, don't obsess over your old flames. There you go. And yeah, that's basically it. And don't dry off your old flames when they ask you for a towel, or they ask you to, so how about that? So anyway, and as far as the moral tales in general are concerned, don't be a bigamist. Yeah, I don't know. So there you go. That's all I got. And Criterion put out some more Rohmer. Like to see what else you got. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Sunday for Seduced and Abandoned. And until then, goodbye.